One Night in Miami, the movie about Muhammad Ali before he was Muhammad Ali. And Malcolm X is there too.
And CM Cook and Jay Brown.
Yeah, I mean, sure. So, first, One Night in Miami. It is about Cassius Clay before he is Muhammad Ali. It is a night after his surprise championship win. And it is about the night celebrating with Malcolm X, Sam Cooke, and Jim Brown. And it is a telling of something that we don't really know what happened that night. There's not a lot of accurate and detailed accounts of what they talked about, where they went, what they did. It's only like really brief snippets of what happened that night. So this is a telling of what happened, but with a lot of creative license. So there's a lot filled in here that is probably not actually accurate, but it's just a guess of what possibly could have happened with these important figures being in the same party on this night.
So this is Regina King's directorial debut.
Mm-hmm.
She's I think one of the best actresses working today, especially as of late. Like you have Watchmen, stuff like that. She's fantastic in.
Yep, she's amazing.
I was trying to look up. It's based off a stage play, and I think that is probably my biggest complaint about the movie. And as is with every stage to screen adaptation, like Fences, it's very.
You can tell. You can definitely tell it's based on a play.
And just with Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, it was the same way. It's like it's framed almost like it's on a soundstage.
Yep.
Like it almost looks like Hamilton, where they just recorded it on the stage. And I think that's my biggest complaint about this. There are fantastic performances throughout. I think Kingsley Ben-Adir is getting the most acclaim. I think for not Muhammad Ali, Jesus.
Malcolm X.
Yeah.
I would agree with that praise.
Yeah, very well deserved. He even looks like him.
Yeah,
he does.
I think Leslie Odom Jr. was my favorite though.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just because I'm still hot off Hamilton.
Sam Cooke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I just he's great.
Good. They were all really good though.
Yeah.
They were all great.
Well, and then Eli Gorey, however you say his name.
Yeah.
He had Cassius Clay. He had his speech pattern down really well.
Yeah,
If you ever heard him talk.
Yeah.
In the beginning when he wins the fight, all the stuff he was saying to the crowd, that's off a real tape.
Yeah.
And it's almost sounded literally like they played the tape. Like he had him down perfect.
Yeah, accent and everything. Yeah.
I think we saw this in it was a Middleburg Film Festival. I think is where we saw it. So we saw it back in October. It was not super fresh on my mind.
True.
Probably should have rewatched it because it's free on Amazon right now. I will say I think as a film, it's not my favorite from last year. I guess we're talking about this year, but I don't know. I think it's getting a lot of awards buzz, maybe not as much as it had at first. And I think for the performances, sure. I don't know. I think Regina King did everything she possibly could with this, and it looked great. And they do leave the apartment at some points, like they go to either a gas station or a restaurant or something like that. So they do get to break out of there a little bit, but I don't know. It's very claustrophobic to me, and I probably will never watch it again.
Yeah.
I might watch it again. But I did have a little bit of problems with the directing, not many. But even when they did break out and kind of go other places, it didn't feel very natural. It really felt like okay, let's all go over here, gang.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a natural progression from location to location. It was very stilted and didn't feel very good as we were going from one place to the next. It just felt really staged.
Yeah.
Well, and that's my problem with play to film adaptations is it always seems like the background is just kind of happening around them. They're not in it. They're just kind of separated from it. And this was one of those films like you said, you're like, okay, now we're on the roof, and there's really no reason. They just all of a sudden on the roof, and it feels weird and kind of out of place. But yeah, I mean, as far as stage play to film goes, this was one of the better ones. I mean, it was well adapted. I think.
I don't know. I just think there is more you can do with something like this. I don't know. I don't want to be super negative because I think it is well done.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's a good play, even though it is a lot of, obviously a lot of the dialogue is made up and it's just based on assumption.
Which is another problem I have with it.
Yeah.
Because we don't know a lot of what was said that night, and it's a lot of putting words into people's mouths. And I like the message, I like what's happening, but at the same time, I wonder if it is that respectful to do this,
Right.
and to be putting these words into these people's mouths and to be creating these conflicts that we have no idea if they ever happened, and to be like, was Malcolm X actually acting this way and doing these things, and was it really like this? And it just feels really, really weird. And I don't want to say it feels disrespectful, because it doesn't. It just feels like we're putting words into people's mouths, and it's just weird to me.
I think one part where I think it did a really good job is where Jim Brown goes to Bo Bridges' house.
Oh,
and
yeah.
there's that conversation at the beginning, and like I'm like, oh, okay, they did it. I don't want to ruin anything.
Yeah.
But they did a good job of making you like somebody,
Like settle in.
seem like they're like cool, and then you realize like, oh, this is the 60s. It's fucked up. Like people do some shitty things, and there's like rampant racism everywhere, even in like casual conversation. That was well done, I think.
Yeah. And just overall, the general message of like the importance of these men during this time, being powerful, successful black men in the civil rights movement. It was done well and executed well, written well. I just wonder how much of this is, actually how it went, and how much is kind of like, I don't want to say fan fiction, but
Right.
like you're assuming these things actually did happen, these talks did happen this way. And I feel like maybe it was just some friends having fun that night, and that's it.
Yeah.
It wasn't this big philosophical thing going on, but we have no idea. So
Right. I sound like I'm super negative on it, but I give it a really positive score. I definitely liked it.
I liked it a lot too. Yeah.
And I don't think it can be said enough, like how good these actors are in this, because
Oh,
they
They
are
are great. Yes.
the dialogue they get to work with is fantastic. But do you guys have anything else to say?
No, I think
No,
I'm good.
I feel pretty good about it.
You want to give scores?
Yeah, I gave it I gave One Night in Miami a 75.
I gave it an 82.
I gave it a 70.
So our number is a 76. Thank you guys
Seems
for
fair.
watching. Yeah. Thanks for watching.
Thanks.
Appreciate it. Bye.